Hey guys, and welcome to a quick Nightmare Zone guide. I will try to keep this under 5 minutes because I've just been trying to make it short, but it's almost impossible. Let's go over gear setup real fast. Bring mage, bring mage, bring mage, bring a fire staff, bring a water staff. I don't care what you think, bring those. Bring a melee weapon, spec weapon, if you care to. Absorptions, bring 3 rows of 4 or 5 if you want. Overloads, 1 row of the according number. Well, bring three times more absorptions than overload really. Make sure you have cash in your coffer. You will need 6k for a hard rumble. If you're gonna get your first points to get absorptions and overloads, well then make sure you, what am I saying? Make sure you do a endurance easy game, or normal rather, not easy, and that should get you enough points to get you started. When you go in, you want to make sure you're at 51 HP. You can get this by guzzling at the Dwarven Rock Cake a few times and then going down one by one. You want to pick up some blood runes, pick up some air runes, equip your fire staff, autocast your spell. You will not really need any air casts or um, earth. You want to make sure you prioritize monsters that are annoying to you. For example, this one can teleport me. You want to prioritize that one. Um, the other ones you really want to prioritize are here. This is not prioritizing. This is just make sure you melee the ice troll and mage the untouchable. Of course I told you to bring mage, but some people will choose to bring melee. Personal choices or account build or mains. If you're a main, make sure you melee, but with my stats it's not worth it to melee. It's mage is way better at low level, and melee kind of catches up after a while. And if you're high level, or if you're not a main, or if you're a high level, if you're not an Iron Man, or if you're a high level Iron Man, or if you're a main, then make sure you bring a serpentine helm. This will affect every single monster in here. I don't think any of them can block venom. Let's bring the list back. Make sure you stand next to Camille when you're fighting it. Same deal for Caramel, I think. Not sure if they have the exact same mechanics, but Camille definitely stand next to him. Agrith, Nana, if you want to, you can stand next to him. Same for Agrith, Nara, which means they won't teleport you. Also means you can just safe spot this, like, like so. If you want to try to safe spot a monster, just know that any monster in game is going to try to line up their southwestern tile with you. Of course, I just saw Agrith Nana move, but he is maging and he has strange mechanics. But most likely the monsters that are, well, any monster that's trying to melee you only will line up their southwestern tile, in this case here, that case there, with you. So if I stand there, they're just gonna walk right past him, and if I stand there, they are going to get stuck because he can't go there. And of course there that one is blocking, but you can see is lining up that tile with me, the southwestern one. Well, of course it could be any western one, but trust me, it's the southwestern one. Um, what else could I say in this quick guide? Um, yeah, I brought some prayer potions. That's in case the barrel chest hits me to 0 prayer. I brought a restore, that's in case Camille or Caramel drains my stats too much. The dragon shield is because it doesn't remove my mage, and when Elvarg spawns he won't just drain all my stats in a few seconds. And because if you're playing endurance, then you have time to put on your shield. It says Elvarg's about to spawn because it's a one monster, like one by one. But in this mode you don't know what's about to spawn, so yeah. And I forgot, you're supposed to melee Agrith Nana. I just started doing it last game and it seemed to be doing pretty good. 19 after 2 hits. And Mage was absolutely awful against him, as you could see. My average points per hour, I could say, is about 250 to 400k points an hour. This is a pretty bad start, but the most common good monster you should expect to get is the Untouchable. Except for that, I'm not sure if the Everlasting is very common at all. It should give a lot of points. All the Dream Mentor bosses give a lot of points. If you want to come in here, make sure you have at least done Recipe for Disaster. I have Quest Cape. I get the most amount of points per kill. The more quests you've completed, the higher your points are going to be for killing any monster, I think. I don't think it's been like confirmed by anyone, but Bodhi did send a message to Mud Ash even or something to ask him like what the hell is wrong with my nightmare zone. I'm killing the inadequacy and I'm not getting shit. And he said, well, you have to complete RFD before you get good points. So he did it, and then his points just started flying up. Yeah, I also recommend turning off auto retaliate right there, because if I had just clicked on the barrel chest right there, that would have been good fight at least 5 points of prayer. That's hitting me once, or 10 hitting me twice. Doesn't matter how much he hits. If it's a 0, he's still gonna drain your prayer by 5. And yeah, 5 minutes and 42 already. You should try to safe spot all these monsters. Right here. Oh, and you want to make sure you overload. With OS Buddy, you have a timer that says when your overload's about to run out, but I'm just too bad. And I have to overload to keep fire waving because my mage is 72, and you need 75 to cast that spell. I tried Ivan's Blast. It was more points per hour, more accurate, more damage per cast, everything. But I used about 1k casts in 45 minutes. Which means I'm gonna have to repair my staff every like 2 hours, which is not very good. So I stopped using it, and Fire Wave is fine. It's not as good. It's nowhere near as good. If you're a main, then you should consider. Well, if you're a main, first off, you should be meleeing and using serpentine and all. But just for your first helm imbue, maybe your first Slayer helm imbue, or Black Mask in my case, but I'm gonna make the Slayer helm soon. Maybe you won't have a serpentine yet, but I mean, you if you can use it, definitely use one. Um, but yeah, Damis, second phase drains their prayer, Barrel Chest drains their prayer, Dad, Glood, they shoot you away, and Glood also makes you come to him. Um, Other thing, you want to make sure you prioritize killing things like the big bird, the giant rock, because he will hit you all the way across the map and it's not very fun. And as I said here, priority, if something is freezing you, that's the first thing you want to kill. If something is draining your prayer, nothing can drain your prayer that you cannot save spot, so it's not your first priority. But of course, if you have 4 monsters draining your prayer in the first thing, it's almost impossible. It would have to be 4 barrel chests, because if it's a Damis, then the first 4 that would spawn when you join, they wouldn't drain your prayer. It's only the second phase. You would just have to kill them one by one and safe spot the one that's draining your prayer, and then you should kill something going for points. It doesn't really matter if you go for points. I should be using a pickaxe. What am I doing? It doesn't really matter if you're using if you're killing stuff for points, um, if you don't have anything that's insanely good. For example, right now I don't have an inadequacy or an everlasting or whatever, so I'm just killing random monsters. You should probably try to kill things you can kill the fastest. Stagilith, you might be wondering, but this sort would be the fastest one to kill for me right now. Disaster Rule has 3 phases, Witch's Experiment has 4. This one only has 1, so I decided to pick it. Um, almost dead. What am I saying? And you shouldn't really try to go for monsters' weaknesses. If it's a mage element, for example, I think this sword is like weak to earth or something, but it doesn't matter. And when you see that thing come at you, you want to make sure you fucking start attacking it straight away. After a while, you will recognize that Fire Blast spell, and you will know, well, fuck, there's an Agret Nana in my room. You should try to kill it as fast as possible, because if you kill another monster and 2 Agret Nana spawns, or for example, something even worse could happen, a like a camel or a caramel could spawn, that would mean you would try to get next to camel or caramel so that they would not freeze you as often, but you couldn't because Agret Nana would keep teleporting you away. So yeah, I hope this helped. The reason also I'm keeping my HP at 1 is because the max hit any monster can hit on me is a 1, which means every attack I am taking is dealing 1 point of absorption. Every red 0 is a 1. If you're at 10 HP, most of the attacks are going to be 10 points of absorption. So yeah, I hope this helped.